Hey everyone, this is Corey with Sims Investment Management. This is another monthly market update, and it is early April of 2025. And this newsletter might be a little bit longer this month because we want to address a lot of the client concerns that we've been hearing the past few weeks. But I first want to start with some housekeeping news. Let's start with some great news. The first is Patrick Jones is going to be joining Sims Investment Management as another advisor and also helping us in an operations role. So Patrick's first day will be next week. We have another teammate joining us, Anya Perry, who also will be coming on board. She'll be supporting Ryan Atkins going forward because Caroline Perry is going to actually be moving on to follow some more of her passions. Caroline's got an album that she's going to be recording, and we're all super excited for her and her next chapter. So a couple personnel updates and some new faces that you'll be seeing on the team over the next few months. In addition to that, we've been incredibly busy around here working with clients getting their IRA contributions, Roth IRA contributions, and honestly reaching out to clients to see if they have money market funds or cash sitting on the sideline that they would like to get invested and put to work with the recent market pullback. So speaking of the market pullback, there's several things that I want to touch on today. The first is just let's frame the big picture. I think it's very easy for us to forget how chaotic 2020 is now that we're about 5 years removed. And that's actually the main point of the written article below the video this month. And why I think that's relevant is right now it feels very scary and headlines and there's a lot of kind of whiplash effect, to be honest, what to believe, what not to believe. And it reminds me very much of the environment in 2020. And yet I have to keep kind of reminding clients the market was down 34% in 33 days in 2020. So yes, this feels scary and unknown right now, but we're only about halfway to the decline of what we experienced in 2020. I don't think we're expecting to get to a 33% decline with this downturn. I don't have a crystal ball, but although this has been a quick in a volatile period, if we compare it to some of the other periods in history, it is not as extreme as I think it might feel. Even if we go to 2022, when the market was down 25% from January of 2022 to October of 2022, that year was the worst year for a stock bond portfolio since the early 1970s. So again, we are nowhere near the type of declines that we had in 2020 or 2022. I think it just feels worse because the media is flooding us right now with the negative headlines. And so that's one of the, things I'm most passionate right now with clients is, to put it very simply, is if the media is causing you to be really stressed out, why are you listening to it? And may we suggest you might want to turn it off. I'm not by any means advocating that you be ignorant to world events. However, it is statistically proven that the media has an ulterior motive, which is to get eyeballs and clicks, right? It's why we tune into the Weather Channel when there's a hurricane coming and someone's standing down there in the storm. They are feasting on this period of uncertainty, and fear is the number one emotion that spreads. So my slight suggestion would be to consider maybe turning off the news for a couple of days, or not checking your accounts every couple of days, or worse, checking your account every day or multiple times a day. I have yet to meet an investor that is a better long-term investor because they check their accounts every day. Sooner or later, someone makes a knee-jerk reaction that they end up regretting in the long term because they're checking their accounts so often that it freaks them out. So if you don't believe me, you can believe my friend Bob Newhart in the video with some lighthearted humor that we're going to include in the newsletter this month. The last thing that I really just kind of want to sum up with this is you nor I nor anyone else knows when this is going to end or how it's going to end. But for the clients that have financial plans, and our clients do, we've planned for this. We know that there's going to be market volatility. And if you have short-term cash needs, then, and you've communicated that with us, then you're going to have a bucket of short-term protected assets. And if you're in retirement, we're going to have a bucket of retirement income generating assets. We're going to have short-term protected assets, but we're still going to need long-term assets. You're still going to experience some volatility, because that volatility ultimately is what's going to protect you in the long run with your purchasing power risk, so you can keep up with inflation. If you reduce all your volatility, what you actually pick up instead is inflation risk and purchasing power risk, which is when people later in life can't spend the amount of money that they're used to spending because they got too conservative early in retirement. So we can't have one without the other. But we do have a plan. Historically speaking, that plan has always worked in the long run. Every decline up until this point in the history of the United States has been temporary. We've never had a permanent loss of capital. And just know that we are here to help steer you through this and answer any questions if you have some. So please don't hesitate to reach out. I hope the last resource that you're going to see in the newsletter is also a quick chart from First Trust that talks about recessions. And if we do go into a recession, historically, how does the market perform 6 months leading into a recession, during a recession, and then 1, 3, 5, and 10 years after those. And spoiler alert, it's always historically been a really great time to stay invested and then add to your investments during those periods. So again, I hope this is helpful. Please share this with anybody that might need to hear it, and we will talk to you next month. Thanks.